one currently raging in China and raised
Good morning, everybody.
Influenza virus, commonly known as the flu, was the culprit, and it remains today a far larger threat than the coronavirus. Some perspective is in order. This article will be finished next week.
You were just listening to a reading of City Journal. We hope you enjoyed the program. If you missed any portion of the program or would like to listen to it again at your leisure, visit our website, ticnetwork.org.
This is the Talking Information Center, a window to independence through local volunteers reading over 300
good show today.
Good show.
specific to your community.
Now available on your
I went to the Mandalorian for sure today, okay?
radio station, Talking Information Center.
What is mine?
More information.
It's around the corner.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to,
Yeah. Alright.
follow the rules there, huh?
Thank you for listening.
Good, Mike.
I invite you to join the Talking Information Center for Reader's Digest.
Sure, I have all that all set. Perfect.
Broadcasting live from the Taunton Federal Credit Union Studios at Fortune Church Green, we are AM 1530, WVBF, Middleboro, Taunton, and W259DD, Middleboro Center, 99.7 FM, Hometown Talk Radio.
You should look into the planning board's South Coast Rail meetings. We should start going to them. We'll be talking about it. I think we really should start upping our game on the South Coast Rail. I don't know if the weather's getting better or it's busy.
USA Radio News with Chris Barnes. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Defense Chief Mark Esper in Munich, Germany, where they've met with the Afghan President Ashraf Ghani to discuss a possible truce agreement between the U.S. and the Taliban. It could lead to the withdrawal of American troops from that nation, but Ghani has expressed some skepticism.
One, we must stop this war. Two, we must find a political solution to stop the war. The rest is a level of complexity and uncertainty.
Folks in Jackson, Mississippi are being told to find higher ground. The Pearl River that runs through the state capital has risen nearly 38 feet and is nearly 8 feet higher than flood stage. It's expected to crest today, and it's going to be entering some buildings in downtown Jackson. Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves has declared a state of emergency. This is USA Radio News.
If you're thinking about life insurance from low-cost term to business or estate coverage or perhaps a small policy to cover your final expenses, why spend more than you have to? Hi, I'm John David Wallace from the Wells Report. Since 1986, AccuQuote has helped hundreds of thousands of folks save a fortune on their life insurance by quickly comparing the rates, features, and financial strength of dozens of top-rated life insurance products right over the phone. Want some examples? A healthy 50-year-old non-smoker can buy a $500,000 10-year level term policy for less than $45 a month. Oh, you say you're 60? No problem. Under $120 a month. 20 or 30-year terms, even permanent plans are available. Okay, so you might have some health problems, huh? Lots of us do, but the experts at AccuQuote will still work with you to find the best affordable policy. To find out how much you can save, call AccuQuote today. 877-439-8830. That's 877-439-8830. 877-439-8830. AccuQuote.
Yesterday.
Call today.
She asked me to nominate her for something, but my messenger doesn't work. It needs to be updated.
specially trained Border Patrol agents
no
to
idea.
sanctuary cities across
I'll
the
look
nation.
at it later.
Here's USA Radio's Robin Walensky.
The president speaking about this topic at a news conference with Border Patrol agents in Washington, D.C.
Not one more American life should be stolen by sanctuary cities. That's why we're calling on Congress to pass legislation giving American victims the right to sue sanctuary cities and hold them accountable for the suffering and the damages that they've caused.
Iraqi military officials say several rockets hit near the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad hours ago. Rockets that struck an Iraqi base that hosts U.S. troops in the heavily fortified Green Zone. However, a U.S. military spokesman says there were no casualties and only minor damage. There was no immediate claim of responsibility for that rocket attack. And this is USA Radio News.
Friends and family, did you have a great night's sleep last night? I did. I'm healthier than I've ever been. I work better than I ever have. And you know what? You can have that health. You can have that good night's sleep if you order a MyPillow. Try it. Mike Lindell guarantees it. He's got a 60-day money-back guarantee on the MyPillow and a 10-year warranty. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener special, use my promo code USA or call 1-800-951-8175.
A COVID-19 outbreak update. That's, of course, what was initially being called coronavirus. Nearly 1,700 people are dead because of the outbreak, and China's National Health Commission says there were more than 2,000 new cases confirmed and another 142 deaths on Saturday. A skier is dead after he was accidentally hanged while riding a chairlift at Vail's ski resort. The coroner confirming Jason Varnish of New Jersey died of asphyxiation. Investigators say he slipped through the folding seat while attempting to load the Skyline Express chairlift, and his coat got wrapped around his neck. Ski Patrol performed CPR once they got him down, but they were not successful. Blue Sky Basin was closed for about 24 hours after the incident. Officials with the resort releasing a statement saying, quote, "The lift has been thoroughly inspected and is operating normally." It's a big sports Sunday with the NBA All-Star Game coming up later today. And this afternoon, a new NASCAR season dawns with the running of the Daytona 500 in Daytona Beach, Florida. And former NFL player Antonio Brown says he's looking forward to meeting with teams at the 2020 Draft Combine. Brown, whose controversial pro career is on hold, was let go from New England's Patriots in September after allegations of sexual misconduct surfaced. The Combine's usually for college players to show their skills, but it's not uncommon for free agents to attend as well. And for USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVBF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests. What's happening? I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns? It's time for the Middleboro Week in Review with your host, Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned for news, Middleboro news, here on AM 1530 WVBF. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the February the 16th. It's morning here on Sunday. It's nice and cloudy outside.
And it's February 16th.
We are halfway through the month of February. Already. Wow. Time really goes by pretty quick.
You know, what we're noticing is it's daylight longer.
Yeah, it was
almost to 5:30.
It was getting light out when we left, so.
And in the evening too, which is a big plus. That's definitely a morale boost, I think, as far as.
Absolutely.
It really helps. And then I think in a few weeks we change the clocks. First Saturday in March.
Which is also another exciting time as well. So that's going to be fun in a few weeks' time.
It's going to be fun to see the sun out till almost 7 o'clock. Then you know that winter's almost over and spring's is going to be here.
So the weather today, right now it's 31 degrees in Middleboro. It's going to get up to 44 with a low of 27 tonight. And then 46 on Monday. sunny. The next chance of rain will be on Tuesday. It'll be 46 degrees. And then Wednesday, 44 degrees. So that rounds out the first half of the week. In Taunton, it's 30. So, that's the weather for today. We want to start off today with mentioning that yesterday marked 45 years since the debut album of one of the members of Rush, Neil Peart, who passed away earlier last month. We want to just mention that yesterday was the 45th anniversary of the album Fly By Night by Rush. That was Neil Peart's first album, and wanted to mention that. Any thoughts?
No, that's a good tribute. This big loss, Neil Peart, is a big loss to the music community and a lot of people. His music and his lyrics touched a lot of people, including myself, and he was just be sorely missed. And they were always a great band. They never broke. Technically, they never broke up. All these bands, they break up. And they get back together and there's fighting amongst each other. You never got that with Rush. And it's funny too because they had a song on the Signals album called Countdown, and that was pretty much endorsed by NASA. So it just goes to show how good of a band they really were, and that's just they were just the best in my opinion.
So we start off today with that, and we also want to first mention that we are about a month away from the Middleboro cable auction that is held every March. This time it's going to be a little different because it will not be at the high school this year. It's going to be at Macam this year. It's going to be taking place live at Macam, and that's a little bit different from what it was last year. And I believe it's going to be 2 days, like it's always been. I'm not sure the times of the live broadcast. We'll get that information for you. But it will take place at the Macam Studios in downtown Middleboro this year. Because, of course, the old high school is in the process of being torn down. So they can't have the auction there this year. So
they're tearing the gym down?
Well, they're in the process of tearing down the old school.
Now? I thought they used the old school?
They are, but they're in the process of slowly, doing that and slowly building the new high school. I think they're doing parts of construction at the old high school.
Well, for some reason they're not having it at the high school.
They're having it at Macam this year.
Well, look at the studio over there. The place is better than it's better than any major studio that any major network would have.
Yeah.
Its studio is like state of the art studio, and like I said before, Karen, whoever worked on it, the whole team putting that together did an awesome job in my opinion, because it's right in the center of town. It's like the jewel of Middleboro. We have Middleboro Center. It's at the bank building on the corner there, Wareham in Maine. But it's just this beautiful studio in the middle of Middleboro. It's pride and joy in my opinion. It was really nice how they did that. So Matt Kim's always been above everyone else in my opinion. Always better, a little edgier than all the other towns. They always have been. Right? You can understand that. You've been working there.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
You know how good that place is.
Yeah.
And you know how good Karen is as far as taking care of everything, and she's always been always been impressed with how she works out there, and everybody who works there, Zach and everybody else who runs that place. I just flabbergasted how good that place is and how beautiful that. I can't stop talking about it. So you gotta shut my mic off soon, because I'm not gonna stop talking about it. I'd really, if anybody walking around Middleboro, take a look in the window and check it out. It's at the old bank building on the first floor where Eastern Bank used to be.
All right, well,
I guess I'll give it's your show, so I guess I'll give back the floor.
So next month is the cable auction, and it will be held at Matt Cam Studios this year. So we have that coming up next month. We have also the Middleboro Fire Station has gotten a donation, and I will be getting that article up in just a second for everyone. The Middleboro Fire Department was presented with a $500 donation last month. They received the donation from Shepherd's Path, the Road to Learning Child Care Services in Middleboro. On January the 10th, Captain Timothy Reed with firefighters John Palator and Jason DiPaolo in Engine 1 visited the center for a show and tell of the apparatus during their fire prevention program. We are very grateful for the donation, and it will be used to purchase education and fire prevention materials, said Middleboro Fire Chief Lance Benjamino. So that's great. That's awesome that these kind of things are happening in the town, that businesses in the town are helping our first responders in that way.
I like how Middleboro is set up as far as pretty much the whole town is rented. It's occupied as far as businesses. There's not many businesses in the center. I don't think I saw one. There might be one. I haven't walked down the street, but I've noticed pretty much all the stores are rented or they have stores. So Middleboro is pretty. I guess it's because no malls around, so everyone does go to the center. I always like that. I'm not a big go to the mall guy. I'd rather go to like a little town and frequent the. I guess that's what makes Crazy Days so successful, and that's why it's probably the best thing they could ever do was do Crazy Days, because now gives people a reason to go check out Middleboro Center and check out all the stores, and maybe they'll come back instead of going to the mall or doing the Amazon thing or whatever.
Absolutely.
Got to get people out to spend money at the brick and mortar, because they pay taxes to local, state, and federal, and it helps everybody, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's important to go to local businesses and to pay and to
support the community.
Support them, yeah.
Your little restaurant, your little breakfast nooks, stuff like that.
Yes.
It's important. It's same here in Taunton. There's a couple of breakfast places, or I think there's a diner that advertises here, right down the street. So it's important. There's a whole local thing is great, and it'd be good if people just got back into the local thing, because that's how you bump into your neighbor. That's how you bump into people from your area, from from Middleboro or surrounding towns. You're not going to see that online. I don't know. I like the idea of leaving the house. I don't. There's a lot of. It's just if people don't start doing that, then all these restaurants and shops and stores and stuff like that, they're going to go away. We're going to be slave to like online shopping.
Yeah.
And after that, it's like anything. You have one entity comes in, one restaurant comes in, lowers the prices of everything, drives everyone else out, and then their quality can go down. I've seen it before. I've seen it everywhere. Yeah. Quality goes down once everyone's out, and then you're kind of a slave to it if you need it.
Then there's been, even in the past 10 years, there's been a lot of big businesses that have gone out of business. Toys R Us, they're gone. I think they're making a comeback, though. Borders, they're gone. Blockbuster, they've been gone for a while.
Yeah, I think Netflix and Hulu and all those streaming services took them out. The personal computer, the phone took them out.
Yes, so our changing way that we buy things online, the online is evolving.
I think it's too much, though, because
yes.
The local communities are being affected, in my opinion. And it's just, people don't want to get off their butts. You want them to get out and check out downtown. You want them to shop. Even Taunton has a thriving city center, in my opinion. Even with a town that has a mall. I mean, I do see there's a few storefronts that are vacant, but all in all, it's pretty successful downtown. And if everyone just gets their mindset of coming back downtown shopping, and I think even the municipalities, even like the towns should like ease up on the parking too. Because if you're going to go to, say, Middleboro Center, or if you're going to go to Taunton Center to do some shopping, and parking's a pain, you come out with a $50 ticket or whatever they charge you, that just puts a bad taste in, So I know the town needs to make money on their parking, but I don't know. I think there's a balance between getting parking fees and dealing with and having the people come in and shopping in the city centers, I think. But I know there's people who just ignorant and they'll park anywhere. They'll park in front of a hydrant. They deserve it. To give them a big fat ticket. I mean, it's called common sense. But if you pull in and you have a meter or something like that, and you're over by 20 minutes and you get a ticket, that's wrong. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the deal is here. In as far as I've never got a ticket in Middleboro or Taunton, so I guess that's good.
All right. Well,
I mean, parking.
All right. So we're gonna take a break here in just a second.
You know what tomorrow is, right, Joey?
The 17th of February, and it's also President's Day.
Right. And you know what? I got something special for you.
I think I know what it is.
Okay.
I think I know what it is. I think we talked about this last week.
Well, it's not. It's not going to be by memory because I didn't do my homework. But I'll mention all 45 presidents in the course of the show.
All right. Well.
And their dates.
All right. Well, we'll have that when we come back. We'll also have our sports segment when we come back. We're going to talk about the Daytona 500. The 2020 NASCAR season starts today, officially, with the Daytona 500. We'll also talk about the NBA All-Star Game. We'll talk about the XFL. We'll talk about the Bruins. All wrapped up into a little quick sports segment when we return. If you want to listen to us on TuneIn, type in on TuneIn, Hometown Talk Radio. And we also have a Audio Now number, 605-562-7958. So, this is WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM, Middleboro Review, and we'll be right back. Alright.
I'm not taking over the show, am I?
No, you're doing a good job.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Help
you, boss.
me out. Help me out, man. Thank you.
Still waiting for my first paycheck from April. Haven't got it yet.
First paycheck. Alright, what do we got here? 197.
Hi, everybody in Facebook land. The reason I'm standing here is because I'm obeying the rules for all drinks and liquids along on shelf and not near console. So I'm obeying the rules. That's why I'm to my stopping way.
Alcohol and other drugs. And when it comes to pain medications,
video evidence.
They need to be shared with friends or family. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs,
highlight that.
underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Use it. Highlight. Highlight what you did, just so you know.
Alright.
Spark Street Auto Body, located at 48 Spark Street in Brockton, Massachusetts, offers the highest quality collision repair and complete auto service for your car. They are a direct repair shop
For your
all
car.
major insurance companies. You can reach them at 508-583-1495. They're open Monday
First segment
through
there.
Thursday, 8 to 5, and 8
Now we
to
got a
4
quick little
on Friday.
sports segment, probably
Today.
5-10 minutes.
I'm gonna rifle out.
508
You gonna give me every
1495.
6 minutes, 8 minutes, I can rifle 8 out.
Yep, we're gonna do that, and then
Hi, this is Jim Larkin. Hope you can join me every Sunday from noon to 2 o'clock here on WVBF, the Sounds of the Emerald Isle. We'll have some great Irish music, some folk, traditional, country, and contemporary, and sometimes some live singers in the studio. And to make you laugh, some Irish comedy. That's Sundays from noon to 2 right here on WVBF, 1530 Taunton, Middleboro, and on the internet at hometowntalkradio.com.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association is an association of combat veterans
Have you
from
got
all
this guy
branches
yet?
of the
Well,
United
no
States Armed
PSA?
Forces who ride motorcycles.
yeah,
as
he's
a
got a couple events coming up in
mission
May.
is
He
to
doesn't know the
support
exact
those
date,
who have
so
Oh, you been in
defended our
touch with him?
country
Yeah.
and freedoms.
he'll let me know
Focus
about
is to
that.
help
You
the
wanna have
exact
him on the
date,
show?
so.
facilities provide
Yeah, I'm gonna
meal,
talk to him
clothing,
this week.
Shelter and guidance.
We're gonna have him on
Or
the show
simply
at
to
some
say
point.
thank you
Soon.
and
You
welcome.
was in one of your classes?
We
Yeah.
have members from nearly
What class is
all
he in?
50 states.
He's in radio
Many
production.
members continue to serve in our armed forces.
This guy's older,
with
right?
Several serving
Yes.
in combat areas now. We sponsor and or participate in many motorcycle-related charity events each year. And as a non-profit organization, donate to various veteran care facilities and veteran charities. To learn more about the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association and how you can join or support, please visit cvma2-2.org.
TJ Driscoll Construction is based in Wareham, Massachusetts, serving the South Shore area and Cape Cod for 30 years. They specialize in septic repair and landscaping.
Alright, so I'm gonna do my sports segment first, and then you can do your little
735
presidential
7966. Septic
thing.
repair.
Yeah.
New septic
Let me just get my
systems,
sports segment out of the way.
I'll do 10 at a time.
foundations, and
Alright,
excavation.
awesome.
Lawn installations, tree and shrub installations. TJ Driscoll Construction.
What are you gonna start from 1 or from 45?
No, 1.
1, okay.
7966. Call them today. You will not be disappointed. DK Driscoll Removal Services is the company to call to get any cleanup you may need to do around your house done any time of the year. You can call them at 508-725-2334.
Type up William Harry Henderson.
Metals.
Also, you
railroad
want to do a little
tires,
read on the presidents that
appliances,
didn't make it out.
paints, and much, much more.
So type up
Like
William Harry
concrete,
Henderson, okay?
brick, asphalt,
Do
yard
a
removal,
quick read on him.
brush, logs,
After I
and
say
leaves.
him, you do the
Also,
read on it, okay?
basements,
Okay.
attics,
Sounds
garages, houses, and property in general. Again, the number is 508-725-2334. Call them today. You will not be disappointed in DK Driscoll Removal Services.
Should get Katie Lee in here to do your bass riff.
That'd be great.
We'll work on it.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that.
Actually, send him an email. He might come, you never know.
You never know. I mean, he's in Canada, but you never know.
No, so you want to run a
Alright.
radio show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're back here on Middleboro in Review for February 16th.
Not February 9th?
Not February 9th. No.
I was wondering if you got back into your time machine and went to February 9th.
Maybe I did.
Yeah.
All right, so we have our little sports segment here.
So where's your time machine parked out in the back of the BBF studios? Behind the dumpster?
It's in the DeLorean out back.
The Hyundai's the DeLorean now? Nice.
All right, so we have a little sports segment here. Today is a very important day. Well, one of the more important days in sports. One of the more busy days in sports. We have a lot going on today. We have Bruins, who are taking on the New York Rangers this afternoon. They are on a hot streak, the Bruins. They just beat Detroit, the Detroit Red Wings. So they are on a roll. The Bruins are on a roll. They've been on a roll all year. They've been continuing to get wins when they need them. And they've been continuing to really do well. They have a game on Wednesday as well against the Oilers. That's going to be a good game as well. So that's the next two games for the Bruins. The next thing I want to talk about is NASCAR. The Daytona 500 is tonight. Or, well, today, actually, 2:30 p.m. That's going to be a very, very good race. It always is. It always is. The Daytona 500 has always been a great race. A lot of great moments that have been made in NASCAR history have been at the Daytona 500. This year's Daytona 500, the pole winner, the person who will be starting the race first, who will be at first place, who's starting the race, will be Ricky Stenhouse Jr. So he'll start the race as the leader. So that's the Daytona 500 coming up in the next few hours. We have the XFL. We had two games yesterday. The New York Guardians versus the DC Defenders. DC shut out New York 27-0. Tampa Bay Vipers beat the Seattle Dragons. Seattle beat Tampa Bay. I'm sorry. Seattle beat them 17-9. We have two games today. Dallas versus Los Angeles, which is at 3 p.m. And St. Louis at Houston at 6 p.m. So those are the two games to finish off week number 2 in the XFL. So that'll do it for our sports segment. And also the Celtics have been doing very well as well. Don't want to forget the Celtics. They've been doing very well too.
They've been on fire, haven't they?
They've been on fire. It is the All-Star weekend. Today is the All-Star game, or tonight's the All-Star game. So that is going to be a great game to watch as well. I believe there will be some Celtics players who will be in that game. So it's going to be a fun game to watch. So next week will be their next game. I'm not sure what day.
I thought I heard something about that they only have two numbers on for the number for Kobe and his daughter. And
that they're only going to wear
two numbers,
24 and 8.
Yeah.
I believe that might be the case.
No, one was 2, I think.
What?
I think the 24 and 8. You think?
24 and 8 because those are the two numbers that he used. Yes.
And then I guess they gotta have like stars for all the people who died on the helicopter flight too. Maybe you should look into that when you tell everyone. But
yeah,
it was pretty filling. It was pretty. Hearing that made me feel good. But
yes.
Maybe you can check that out. Let everyone know before the end of the show.
Yeah. So Kobe Bryant's numbers was 24 and 8. Those
yeah,
were
but
two.
No, it was the number was supposed to be for Kobe Bryant's number and his daughter's number.
Okay.
So I'm sure if you do a little research on your computer, you might be able to. But next ad or something like that.
I'll look it up.
It was made me feel good when I heard them that they could be doing this.
Yes.
I'm sure they have it.
All right. So now we turn things over to Dawn. As last week we were talking about presidents, and Dawn wants to name them all.
Well, I didn't do my homework. So I pretty much can do them by myself without, but not today. Tomorrow's President's Day, so we're celebrating all the presidents. It used to be Washington's birthday, but they changed it to President's Day, so all the presidents get celebrated.
Yes.
So we're going to start with the first one. George Washington, 2-term president, 1789 to 1797.
Led the nation. Was the first president. Led the nation and really in its infancy. Very important. He was one of the most important presidents that we've ever had. The first president.
Everyone loves Georgie, you know.
Yep, and he led this country in its infancy.
John Adams, 1797 to 1801. He was a one-term president, coming from Quincy, Massachusetts, and that's where you get the city of presidents, Quincy. Thomas Jefferson, 1801 to 1809, two-term president. James Madison, 1809 to 1817, two-term president. James Monroe, 1817 to 1825. That's another that's a two-term president. And then we got John Quincy Adams, 1825 to 1829. It's funny how the two one-term presidents at the beginning of our country's history were father and son. So we got number 1 is George Washington, number 2 is John Adams, number 3 is Thomas Jefferson, number 4 is James Madison, number 5 is James Monroe, and number 6 is John Quincy Adams. So as the show goes along, we'll give you more.
Great. All right. So we're gonna turn our attention to the Plymouth 400 events that are coming up. There's one event coming up in April, which will open up everything that's going to be happening this year with Plymouth 400. This year marks 400 years since the Pilgrims landed in Plymouth. They landed in Plymouth in 1620. So this is now 400 years since then. And there's going to be several different events going on within the next couple of months to mark the 400th year of Plymouth's existence. The first and most important one will be in April 24th. The Plymouth 400 opening ceremony. Friday, April 24th, 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Plymouth Memorial Hall, 83 Court Street. That's going to be a big event to go to. It opens everything up. I'm sure there's other events, smaller events before the opening ceremony to go to. There's definitely going to be different events going on in Plymouth to go and support support Plymouth. So anyone in Plymouth, if there's any events going on in Plymouth, any big events going on in Plymouth, definitely make sure to go to those. They're going to be very important events, especially this one coming up April 24th. And also there's some other ones as well. The Mayflower 2, I believe, will be in the summer. I believe it will be here in Plymouth. In Plymouth, coming up in the summer. We'll get those details as well. I'm not sure exactly what month it would be. I think it's June, but we'll get those details for you. So we have Plymouth 400 coming up in not a long time from now, April 24th. It comes up pretty quick. As we said earlier, it's already mid-February. Feels like yesterday was the 1st of January, so things go by pretty quick. So, yeah, Plymouth 400. So we have that coming up. We just wanted to talk about that to get it in everyone's minds. So, Don, you had an article that you were telling me about.
Yeah, I've read it. It's nothing I want to report. It's just a lot of squabbling about the South Coast Rail. I guess they had a meeting. Plan board had a meeting with South Coast Rail officials on February 4th. But I read the article. I just no.
Well, South Coast Rail is a very important issue in the town.
Yeah, but
and also in surrounding towns as well.
But
it's very important.
You could do better with. I think you could do better with a horse-drawn carriage or something like that, or a bicycle. I don't know. I mean, why wouldn't they go the Stoughton route? We're back to that. Why wouldn't they go Stoughton, Easton? That was supposed to be an electrified route coming up the Northeast Corridor. The station would have been located right on 44. It would have been like a 5-minute walk from Taunton. So if anybody who wanted to go from Boston and spend time in Taunton, they could do that. People are not going to take a bus from East Taunton to go to, it just goes right through Taunton. Taunton is like one of the major cities in Massachusetts. Why wouldn't the South Coast Rail go through Taunton, downtown, almost? So where the station probably would have been is pretty much right behind the center. Probably, I don't know, quarter mile from where we're sitting here at 14 Church Green. Anyway, the tracks are right down the street. Those tracks you go over 44. That was supposed to be in the main line. You know that, Joey, right?
Yes.
That's the main line. That was the line that was proposed, the electric line. They wanted to put the electric line in. Oh, don't get me started on that, man. Oh, my God. Getting mad here. Okay, we'll get back to presidents because we're talking about the presidents, okay?
Yes.
But you said you were going to check out that William Henry Henderson. You had a little information on that? You look that up?
Yes, real quick? So...
Just, but let's not jump ahead here. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. So we got number 7 is Andrew Jackson, 1829 to 1837.
Another big president.
Big president.
Big president.
Well, controversial president.
And also controversial.
Martin Van Buren, 1837 to 1841. Okay, that's another one-term president. All right, William Henry Henderson, 1841. Why is it just 1841? Because he had a 4-hour inauguration speech, and he caught pneumonia and died 30 days later. His presidency was 30 days, and this guy was a big-time general back in the day back at that time. This guy was like Patton almost. He was just like bigger than life, and he didn't wear his coat.
31 days into his term.
31 days.
31 days.
What is there a date when he passed away?
His date of death was April 4th, 1841, at the White House.
And he was the 9th president of the United States. Back then, the inaugurations were in March. They must have moved them. I'm not sure when they moved them, but that's when the inaugurations were in March. Because I guess back then, if a president won, it took them a while to get to Washington. They can't just jump on a plane and be there in 24 hours. Yeah. I'm not sure, and I guess they wanted the weather to be good. I don't know, but he. I don't know. All right, we have number 10. So back to William Henry. He was the first president not to complete his term. John Tyler, 1841 to 1845. He finished up William Henry Henderson's term. He was the first vice president to become president. And he was number 10. Number 11 was James K. Polk, 1845 to 1849, another one-term president. And then we have Zachary Taylor, 1849 to 1850. He got sick and died during his presidency. So a lot of, at this time, around the 1840s, not many two-term presidents and 2 that didn't make it. Okay.
All right. Well, we're going to take another break here in just a minute. When we come back, we're going to have the Today in Histories a little bit early. Because there are quite a few of them. And I just want to make sure we get through them.
And more presidents.
And also more presidents as well. And we'll have one or two more stories that are going on in Middleboro. So, if you want to hear us on TuneIn, type in Hometown Talk Radio, and you'll find us. You can listen to this show and any show here at WVBF on TuneIn, and also on your phone at 605-562-7958. We'll be right back here at Middleboro Review on WVBF 1530 AM and 99.7 FM. All right. Good stuff.
DK Driscoll Removal Services is a company to call to get any cleanup you may need to do around your house done any time of the year. You can call them at 508-725-2334. They remove construction debris, metals, railroad ties, tires, appliances, paints, and much, much more, like concrete, brick, asphalt, yard removal, brush, logs, and leaves.
There we go.
Also basements, attics, garages, houses, and property in general. Again, the number is 508-725-2334. Call them today. You will not be disappointed.
This is better because it has what number of presidents. I was trying to count them. Wikipedia it in. This is perfect.
Spark Street Auto Body, located at 48 Spark Street in Brockton, Massachusetts, offers the highest quality collision repair and complete auto
He's the
service
next one.
for your car.
James Garfield.
No, and Johnson. So if you can, I'm not sure if you can get a little history. Johnson was the first one to be impeached.
Johnson, yeah.
And then Zach,
Andrew Johnson.
Andrew Johnson. So if you want to come up with a little read on that when I get to it. Okay. How much time we got? We got enough. We got to make sure we finish the. Yeah, we got to make sure we finish the presidents.
We have like. We'll have like a dozen minutes, I think. Huh? We'll have like a dozen minutes.
Yeah, well, President's Day. So
we can always continue it next week.
Uh-huh.
We can always continue this next week.
What, the presidents?
Yeah.
Well, we have to finish it. It's President's Day tomorrow. We have to finish it.
How many do you have left? Like 25? You're not going to finish it today.
We have to finish it today. We don't start it and not finish it.
Yeah, I understand.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle
It's irrelevant
Association
next week.
is an association of combat veterans from all branches of the United States.
I wouldn't say presidents are irrelevant, even if it's not President's Day. Presidents are important to this nation.
I'll be a little faster, that's all.
Our focus is to help
Alright,
veteran
just
care
tidbits,
facilities
okay?
provide
Johnson was the first president to get
shelter,
impeached.
and
Yeah.
guidance.
Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. We all know first president. Okay. Garfield was not Garfield. Yeah, James Garfield.
Andrew Johnson was also the president after Lincoln. During the Reconstruction era of the United States, which is another very important
I'll finish them up,
era.
and then I'll do a whole list of them.
Absolutely.
Oh, I mean, well,
Alright.
or 40, but
I'll give it right to you when we come back.
-2.org.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. With honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be shared with friends or family. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
T.J. Driscoll Construction is based in Wareham, Massachusetts.
No, I already did Spark Street.
Area.
Sure?
Yeah.
You did T.J. Driscoll. I don't remember you
They
doing Spark Street.
specialize in septic
I
repair
did Spark Street.
and landscaping.
I know I did.
Call
I marked
T.J.
it.
Driscoll Construction
Let me see
at
if it-
508-735-7966.
Way to grow,
Septic
though.
repair.
What's today, the
Septic
16th?
systems, retaining walls, foundations,
So is this your last ad?
lawn installations, tree and shrub installations. T.J. Driscoll Construction. Again, the number is 508-735-7966. Call them today. You will not be disappointed.
All right. All right, good stuff. All right. And welcome back to Middleboro in Review. February 16th, 2020. Next week will be the last program of February 23rd, because there is only 29 days in February.
Only?
Only?
See, you kind of rephrase that weird because we're getting an extra day. Usually it's only 28 days.
There's only 28,
but you're saying
but
only
but-
the 29th? It's kind of, you should rephrase that. Right?
but we're in a leap year, so it's 29.
So only doesn't really come into play when you add in an extra day.
Okay, there's 29 days in
29
February.
days. So
If it's a leap year, which it's a leap year.
So you get more. I want more.
So there's 366 days in this year.
I want more.
So we have an extra day in the year, so that means we have 366 days.
I want more.
Okay, so let's do the Today in Histories real quick, and then we'll finish up with the presidents here on the February 16th edition of Middleboro in Review.
Not the February 9th edition.
Not the February 2nd edition either. Okay, so we have quite a few to talk about today, like I had said before the break. The first one we have is in 1959. Fidel Castro becomes premier of Cuba after dictator Fulgencio Batista was overthrown on January 1st. 1996. A Chicago-bound Amtrak train, the Capital Limited, collides with a MARC commuter train bound for Washington, D.C., killing 11 people. 2005, on this day, the National Hockey League cancels the entire 2004-2005 regular season and playoffs. And in 2006, the last Mobile Army Surgical Hospital, MASH, is decommissioned by the United States Army. And that was the 212th MASH, based in Massieu Ammo Depot in Germany. And of course, MASH, based on it is also where the TV show came from. It was based on that too. The TV show is based on what we just talked about. Of course, that was the famous TV show that I believe aired in the 60s and 70s?
Early 70s. They had the pilot, I believe, in 1970.
Okay,
And
early
that,
70s.
Yeah, there was, who was in that? Jack Lemmon and, who was it? Was not Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau, and I wasn't sure. It was, I don't know, the pilot, the movie was different than the characters, but it was good.
So this is the TV show, the famous TV show is based on this.
Yeah, of course.
So, we have two birthdays to talk about today. Ice-T was born on this date, 1958. American rapper and also actor. He is also on Law and Order as well. So, he's a really good actor.
He's a great actor.
He's really good. He's really, really good on Law and Order. And in 1967, Keith Gretzky, Canadian ice hockey player and coach. He is the brother of Wayne Gretzky. And deaths on this day, in 2015, Leslie Gore, American singer and songwriter, passed away 5 years ago today. So those are the days in history and birthdays and deaths for February 16th. So, we finish off here in the last 6 minutes with presidents.
Well, it's President's Day, so isn't it? I think that's fitting, don't you think, Joseph?
Absolutely.
Okay, we're talking about Zachary Taylor, who's the 12th president, 1849 to 1850. He got sick. I think he came down with something, or he had an illness, and he passed away. So the 13th president was Millard Fillmore, which was Zachary Taylor's vice president, 1850 to 1853. So he pretty much finished up Zachary Taylor's term. And then we got number 14, Franklin Pierce, 1853 to 1857. And he came from New Hampshire, actually, believe it or not. Franklin County, Franklin, up that way. And he was another one-term president. So we have a lot of one-term presidents, pretty much. The last, all one-term presidents for like a long time here. Then we have James Buchanan, number 15, 1857 to 1861. Then Abraham Lincoln, number 16, 1861 to 1865. He got one term in, and he was assassinated.
Regarded as the most important president in the history of the United States.
Some people say he was the best president ever. Some people. I agree. He helped the country heal. Number 17, Andrew Johnson, 1865 to 1869. He was Abraham Lincoln's vice president on his second term, because I think Abraham Lincoln was just starting his second term when he was assassinated. So Andrew Johnson. And funny, Andrew Johnson was the first president to be impeached. Ulysses S. Grant, number 18, 1869 to 1877. So we're back to a two-term president again. For so long, there wasn't two-term presidents. Number 19, Rutherford B. Hayes, 1877 to 1881. That was another one-term president. James Garfield, 1881. Another assassination. So he just had 1 year, less than a year. And then Chester A. Arthur, 1881 1885, was James Garfield's vice president. Grover Cleveland, 1885 to 1889, number 22. Chester A. Arthur was 21, Grover Cleveland 22. 23, Benjamin Harrison, 1889 to 1893. All one-term deals there. Again, number 24, Grover Cleveland again. So 1893 to 1897. So Grover Cleveland was 22 and 24. Only time that ever happened. Number 5 is William McKinley, 1897 to 1901. Was assassinated. Didn't finish his term. Theodore Roosevelt, 1901 to 1909. He was William McKinley's vice president and became president when William McKinley was assassinated, and then he went on to win another term. So,
another beloved president as well.
Yes,
And also,
he did a lot. He did a lot.
He did a lot
for the environment. He did a
Yes.
lot for conservation. The Adirondacks Mountains, the whole range, thanks to him. The reason why that isn't all shopping malls and bulldozed down is because of Teddy Roosevelt. And if you've never been to the Adirondacks Park, go. That's my opinion. How much time we got left, Joe? We can finish this, right?
2 or 3 minutes.
I think I'm going to move a little faster here. All right, we got 27. William Howard Taft, 1909 to 1913. And believe it or not, William Howard Taft became a Supreme Court justice after he was president. I think it was the first one in history, maybe. Woodrow Wilson, number 28. 1913 to 1921. William Harding, number 29, 1921 to 1923. He died in office. Number 30, Calvin Coolidge, 1923 to 1929. He finished up William Harding's term and was reelected again. Herbert Hoover, number 31, 1929 to 1933, another one-term president. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, 1933 to 1945, the longest-serving president in American history. Elected 4 terms, died in his 4th term. And number 33, Harry S. Truman, Harry S. Truman. I can't see this. 1945 to 1953. And he became president when Roosevelt died. And he was elected to another term. Number 34, Dwight Eisenhower, 1953 to 1961, 2-term. 1935, John Kennedy, 1961 to 1963, last president to be assassinated, didn't make his term. Lyndon Johnson, 1963 to 1969, 2-term president. Richard Nixon, 1969 to 1974, the first president to resign. Gerald Ford, 1974 to 1977, he was the vice president, and he took the oath when Nixon resigned.
The only president to resign.
Right, exactly. And Ronald Reagan, 1961 to 1980. No, sorry, 61. I'm out of my mind here. 1981 to 1989. I'm sorry, everybody. George Herbert Walker Bush, 1989 to 1993, one-term president. William Clinton, 1993 to 2001, two-term president. I guess he was impeached too, another president. So he was the second president to be impeached. George Walker Bush, 2001 to 2009.
Barack Obama,
2009 to 2017, and Donald Trump, 2017 to present. And Donald Trump is the third president to be impeached, and the only president running for re-election after being impeached.
Yes.
So that's history.
All right, so we are done for today, February 16th, 2020.
Sorry about the tongue twisting, but Joey's putting pressure on me because we're running out of time.
All right, so we gotta go, and we'll talk to you next week.
I butchered that, huh?
Yeah. Well, no, you didn't. You did good. You did good. You only had a few seconds and everything else, but I mean, you did good.
Couldn't see it. That's the problem. I should have
Broadcasting live from the Taunton Federal Credit Union Studios at 14 Church
I'm out of here.
We are AM 1530 WVBF, Middleboro.
Call you at 12.
And W259 DD, Middleboro Center, 99.7.
I'll call you at 12.
Hometown Talk Radio.
Awesome! It actually is gonna record. It actually recorded today.
Oh, good.
So we're gonna have a show.
Is the CD working? USA Radio News with Chris
Secretary of State Mike.
No, well, yeah, I think so.
Chief Mark Esper in Munich, Germany, where they've met with the
Good job.
Afghan president.
I did a lot off today doing that. That's the most I've ever read.
This was probably the best show since the first. See ya. Bye, everybody.